What is up? My name is GARRETT Yogurt on Twitter, YOOGRRTT. Thank you so much for tuning into the INROTATION YouTube channel. Welcome back to another album review. Today we're talking about Taylor, the Fish EP, or Fish EP. Taylor is a frequent, or at least I know of Taylor's existence through his collaborations with Jack Harlow on both the Gazebo project on a song called Tightrope, which was one of my favorites from that project, as well as just probably one of my favorite Jack Harlow songs, period, off of his project Loose, which is also featuring my man Taylor, and that's called Vacate. But the funny thing about both those songs is that they're not just like my favorite Jack Harlow songs and they happen to be because of like Taylor's on it. It's like, no, Taylor's like my favorite parts of those songs as well. He has some of the coolest voice, the way he's just able, him and Jack just complement each other really fucking well, and having Jack on this project was a must. And I think even in my most recent review of Jack Harlow's album Confetti, I noticeably said that Taylor was missing from this project, and again, just a big fan of what I had seen from this guy, and me trying to track down his music though with the name like Taylor, it's kind of more or less impossible to find a fucking profile, but found this EP through I think Jack must have retweeted it or something. It popped up on my Twitter and immediately had to go listen to it. It's very quick, very short, a 5-track album with an aquatic theme. And, let's take a look at the track list. Gardenia is track number 1. Track number 2 is Catfish featuring Jack Harlow. 3 is Neptune. 4 is Barracuda featuring Sloob and 2 for 1. And 5 is Doll, parenthesis, Finn, Dolphin. This whole aquatic theme on this thing is, it's very, very, like, smartly, like, layered through the lyrics. It's also very, like, bubbly in some of the production, and, like, definitely, like, almost like you're feeling like you're taking a breath of fresh air at certain points. But Taylor's smooth, deep, like, influx, it's just, like, layered within his voice, man. It's some of the coolest like performance that you will also again find on Jack Harlow's projects, but also just to see this guy have his own project to just come into his own and just handle it is really just a pleasure. Gardenia is pretty much just an intro track. Where this thing starts is with Catfish, and you do kind of get Jack Harlow. He's the spotlight's kind of on him on this track, I would say, and that's just because he's so goddamn good with his wordplay. But where Taylor comes in, you again get a sense of what I'm talking about, is these two people will just fucking play very well together, and I really hope that there's more of a collaboration project in the future of some sorts. But this is where you really just get a sense of the like melancholy yet smooth as butter, like mantra and persona come to life. Like, again, this is the first time that you're getting full exposure to who Taylor is as like your main speaker, like your main narrator through this story, through this project. And immediately when he comes onto the mic, it's one of those things where you just trust what he's saying a lot more than like you should for such a newcomer, for someone who like you may not be familiar with the music. Like, you immediately, or at least I immediately, trust everything that this guy is saying, and I'm ready for the story and the ride that he's about to take us on. Pushing forward, you have the song Neptune, another great track. For Barracuda, when you have Sloob and you have 2 for 1 Sloob from Wasted Youth, which was another Jack Harlow song. These guys are all from Louisville, from what I can tell, and they're just the guys, you know what I mean? They're the fucking guys that Jack either grew up with or collaborated with for a long time, and 2 for 1 is his main producer / DJ. So it all just is like big family fucking vibes on this thing. But Barracuda is something that you cannot underestimate. But I do want to go back to Neptune, because the production on Neptune with that heavy hitting bass is one of those things. When I first listened to it, I was kind of caught off guard because Taylor's voice is so soft spoken at times that it sounds like I'm no mixer mastering like professional, but at times it was almost like I wished his voice was a little bit louder. But over time I've seen that like his vocals almost sound like they're like the drum line on a beat, where it's almost like that's the first thing that exists in some cases, or like that's like your bass line. Like it's so interesting the way that his voice layers, especially on the song Neptune. So I wanted to go back and touch in on that, because again, that song is actually a lot of fun, and you get this kind of like weird like radio feel with his voice too, where it's almost just like it sounds like this whole album's playing on an 8-track for some reason, or like on an old vinyl, and that's a fucking compliment. That adds such a cool aesthetic to, again, such a cool voice. Big fan of this guy's voice, and the performance that he does do on this thing is great. Dolphin is where you close it out, and that's where you get the most like introspective lyrics on this thing, where this whole thing is like kind of just a commentary on like feeling small in a big world, or like being open to like a whole different perspective or a whole different like piece of the world, to where like you feel small in like your essence of what you were prior to being like introduced to this whole new like school of thought or whatever it is. But like the way he does touch in on all of that is kind of really cool. At least that's what I took from it, and that was how I resonated with this project, is like feeling so young but so like old, but also so like ready to fucking grow. It's such a cool concept that he does a good job in such a short amount of time of like exploring themes and just letting them be, and you do walk away with a good sense of where he stands and what he's trying to say. And if this is a project that is just going to be the beginning of something that is continuous, I hope we get many projects from this man. He barely has 100 followers on SoundCloud, so this is kind of like only 9 releases, so there's only 4 other tracks on this profile. So please go follow Taylor, go find him. If you look up Jack Harlow Catfish, that's the best way to find the project. Just go on to Spotify or whatever. But yeah, Taylor, Fish EP, great first project, great introduction, and just wonderful payoff for someone who was really just looking to find this guy's music. So I'm happy that there's a project like this in existence to recommend to you guys. But if you have heard this project, what did you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Hopefully we get a lot more pages. There's not even like a Genius profile for any of these lyrics up yet. That's why I was going off of the SoundClouds for the track listing. But again, what did you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much. Share this video if you like with anyone who does like rap music. You could subscribe if you want to. That'd be cool too. You could hit a little like. That'd be awesome. Follow me on Twitter at YoGurt, YoogRRTT. Thank you so much. Instagram as well. Now INROTATION on those 2 platforms as well. Take care of yourselves, and you guys are beautiful and great. That is all, folks.